So today, my depression was doing a number on me, but right now I'm in a great mood. So in this video, we're gonna talk about depression, we're gonna talk about impatience, and I'm gonna talk to you about how I got out of this funk thanks to some friends. Stick around. What's up, everybody? This is Chris from the Rewired Soul, where we talk about the problem, but we focus on the solution. And just let you know, like, when I was on my way home, today I was like, you know what, like, I'm gonna become that guy. I just made a video about how us mental health YouTubers, we need to stay in the solution, and I'm gonna be that guy. I honestly envisioned myself doing my intro like this. This is Chris from the Rewired Soul, where we talk about the problem, and yeah, I don't know if we'll be talking about the solution today. For real, I was about to make a video like that, and it would have sucked. It would have sucked. So, by the way, I apologize for the sweat ring. I just got back from the gym, but we'll dive into that in just a minute. So, I am so impatient. I am just a big ball of impatience. Now, I know a lot of people are impatient. A lot of mine comes from my addictive mind. For those of you who don't know, I am a drug addict and alcoholic in recovery. So my brain is often looking for instant gratification, and this spans across all aspects of my life. One of them, for example, is my weight. I think that going to the gym once is going to make me shed all this weight that I've put on over the past decade, okay? I'm impatient when it comes to getting a job. I'm impatient with relationships. I'm impatient about news. Some of these things are, you know, fueled by anxiety as well, but I'm very impatient, and impatience can lead to my depression, and I'll explain to you why. Today I was kind of in a funk because on my breaks I'll like refresh my YouTube channel, and I feel that the video I made yesterday was the bomb. If you haven't yet, check it out. It was pretty good. It was really good. It was some inspirational stuff. But anyways, I'm like refreshing it, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, 21 views, 21 views, 21 views, 20, that's it? And it bummed me out. It really bummed me out. So anyways, when I learn something new, when I'm starting a new venture, I dive into it. I learn everything I can about it. And I've been doing different strategies and different techniques to grow my YouTube channel. But that instant gratification kicks my butt. So I employ some of the strategies I learned. Some of them just happened because I know some great people. So the first great person I know is this gal right here. Her name is Cayla, AKA Panko Bunny. By the way, if you like sweets and you like to cook, go check out her channel. Like, her channel is the absolute worst thing for my diet, but I love her and I love what she's doing. And if you like making treats, go check it out. My son even loves it. He like wants me to make stuff off there for his birthday, and I probably will, but I got some requests for you, Cayla. But anyways, so Cayla goes out, she sees my video, and Cayla is such a sweetheart. She's amazing, by the way. She goes and she posts my video to her Facebook page. I'm like, oh man, Cayla, that's awesome. And she does that, and then I refresh my YouTube page throughout the day, and I'm getting like no views. I'm like, that's not good. So then I remember watching this video by this guy, Sean, and they're talking about how when you talk about different businesses or companies, you should tweet them because then they'll probably retweet you. By the way, Sean, after this video, you getting tagged in some tweets, brother. So I'm like, that's a good idea. So since I talked about my man, Roberto Blake, I was like, you know what? I'll tweet out my video and tag Roberto, and maybe he'll retweet it. So Roberto Blake retweeted my video, and I'm like, yes, he's got thousands of followers on Twitter. That's gonna be great. So I start refreshing my YouTube channel again, and still like no views. And I am just like, what is happening? And my depression is very much under control these days, but it hits me, and those of you who struggle with depression know this, it tunnels your vision. Because when you're in a depressed mindset, it's really hard to go to the solutions. Your brain wants to focus on the negative. And that's what my brain was doing. And my depression gets fueled by a lot of negative self-talk, a lot of negative projection of the future. with this whole YouTube thing and starting the Rewired Soul with the website, my other social media, my ebooks that I've put out, like, I feel like they're just going to explode and I'm going to be able to just save the world. And it's taking a while, but the negative voices in the head say, just give up. What's wrong with people? You know what? Maybe, Chris, maybe people just don't want help with depression or anxiety and all that stuff. So real quick, a big shout out to my friends, and just another tip for you. I talked about in my depression video from yesterday, like, lean on your support group. I messaged, you know, I was talking to my girlfriend about it, my best friend, my other friend, my other friend. I pretty much copied and pasted a text like, yo, I'm going through it. Like, this YouTube stuff is bumming me out. Because, you know, I feel that I made a really awesome video and I just want people to see it so they can get the help that they need, because it's something that a lot of people struggle with. But, you know, my supportive friends, they were great because they encourage me and they talk to me, and then they also can help manage my expectations. And each one of them was reminding me that these things take time. They take time. And if you're impatient like me, that is not the answer that you want. But as I was driving, I started reflecting on this thing, time. And I remembered that Roberto and Sean made a video that really inspired me not too long ago, about a month ago, and it was titled, Time is Not Your Enemy.
I think that one of the biggest mistakes and things I'm seeing, one of the things that I think that's the most hurtful is I think people interpret time as their enemy. I think time to many people, many of you watching this, you always are telling me there's not enough time, or that time got away from you, or that you have like regrets, or, oh, I missed the boat, or it's not my time. And it's like time is a gift.
And I was like, you know what? I'm in a depressive funk. I'm gonna watch that video because I don't remember everything they said. So I turned that video on, and like it inspired me. And in this video about my depression and impatience, I wanna break down what Sean and Roberto were talking about, how it relates to me, why you all need to be looking in every place possible for different ideas and solutions to get out of your funk. But I don't even know if it was the intent of Roberto and Sean to help somebody like me who is struggling with that, but it absolutely did. Like, this smile on my face was not here for most of the day. So the first thing is, I gotta give props to Sean because he uses a ton of quotes in this video, and I'm a dude who loves quotes.
So I heard this quote once that said, overnight success takes 10 years. One of my favorite quotes is by Thomas Edison. It says, opportunity is missed by most people because it's dressed in overalls and it looks like work. I heard one quote, I'll kind of mess it up, but it said, you know, the smart man or woman is the one who begins to realize that there's no distinction in their life between work and play. There's another quote, live today like no one else so that later in your life you can live like no one else. I heard a quote that also said, you know, in the absence of a great dream, pettiness prevails.
But anyways, I use quotes all the time in rehab where I teach clients because quotes have a very big impact on my life. There's a lot of great quotes out there. Roberto and Sean talk about how this whole process takes time. I'm new to this thing. I only started this really in July, and it's September 14th at the time of that I'm recording this. And it's a good reminder when I watch these that these things take time. One of the issues when you are somebody who teaches other people about mental health, whether it's here on YouTube and I'm talking to you beautiful people, or when I'm working at my treatment center with people recovering from addiction and mental illness, I preach this thing called patience all the time, and then it's hard for me to practice it myself. It's still one of the issues that I have to work on a regular basis. But I have to look back, and I relate it to my addiction. I thought that the second I got clean, everything was gonna work out great. I was gonna get a job, my family was gonna trust me, they were gonna respect me and all sorts of things. And it took time, it took a lot of work. It took a lot of work to repair relationships with my family. And just to give you a point of reference, the longest one that took to repair was with my son's mom. It took almost 2 years, but we have an amazing relationship today. And I have to teach that to people because a lot of people expect these relationships to be repaired like that. But anything worth it is going to take time. It's going to take time, it's going to take effort, and it's going to take work. Much like our mental health. We don't just overcome depression. We don't just overcome anxiety. We don't just overcome PTSD or anything like that in an instant. It takes work, and it takes time, and it takes patience. And bit by bit, we build these little blocks, and it turns into this gigantic structure. Every once in a while, you're somebody like me who most of the time I have my mental illness under control, but sometimes it just pounces on me. And I love this video too. I love seeing the struggle that they were talking about and what ignites our passion and what gives us this purpose. And what Roberto shared was really deep, and I could relate to that so much.
But ultimately, what got me to not being on that ledge anymore is I was like, what would being happy look like? And I had a vision of what happy would look like. And I had to articulate to myself, it's like, what would make you stay? What does your life have to look like? And what would make me stay is I said to myself, I just want to create awesome things and put them out into the world. And I just want other people to have that opportunity. I want other artists to have that opportunity.
And I could relate to that so much about what is my happiness going to look like. And it's evolved for me throughout the years. Originally, my happiness was just sobriety, sanity, and serenity. Those things, that was my bare minimum. And as time went on, I wanted more and more and more. Then it became getting a job, having my son back in my life, being able to support my son, get him things, be a good dad to him. And a lot of that too involved me taking care of my personal health. It's evolved to this point where my sole purpose in life is to help others. So towards the end of the video right here, Roberto asks, what's your why? What is your why? And they talk about how we have to keep referencing that. And that's something that gets me out of this funk.
Question of the day, what's your why? What's driving you? What makes you keep going? What's your grand vision? And if you don't have one, what are you going to do about it?
So here's my response to you, Roberto. What's my why? What keeps driving me? What keeps motivating me? And this is going to transition into gratitude, which I talk about. Gratitude is the best way to get out of depression. So my motivation, my passion is much like what Roberto was talking about in this video. Like, not only did he want to create awesome things, he wanted other people to be able to as well. And he wants to help nurture that. And that is my primary motivation. And it's interesting because Roberto's doing that in a different way, but doing the same thing. He's helping creative entrepreneurs out. Me, I don't want anybody to reach the depths of my addiction or my depression or my anxiety that I did. And all these videos that I make, it is so hopefully just at least one person can stumble across it and say, oh man, like maybe I can do that too. Maybe I could take these tips. Because when I first started working on my mental health, there wasn't a lot of resources. I had to go out, I had to find it, I had to search for it. So with my channel, I try to make that process easier. I want to put this content out there so whoever out there is struggling can watch this and say, oh, I can start doing that. And this is where gratitude comes in. So one way that I battle my depression regularly is to sit in gratitude. And like I mentioned earlier, it's very hard to get into gratitude when the depression is very loud in your brain. And, you know, not only did this video help reset me, but my friends did too when they were talking to me. And like, I have to remember on a daily basis, like if I can even impact one person's life, just one person's life, that's amazing. But as it stands right now, I have 255 subscribers. 255 people who care enough about what I have to say and their own personal mental health, or maybe a loved one's mental health, and they come to me for suggestions. I get comments, and not a lot of comments right now, but I get one or two, but they're amazing comments. I get comments telling me to keep going, to keep making these videos because they're helping them out a lot. And it's hard to remember that, but that's what pushes me. That's what motivates me. If there's even one person out there, one person who is saying, Chris, keep making these videos, they're helping me out a lot, then that's good. That's good enough for me. I have to drown out that noise of these expectations I put on myself or on my life and realize I am making an impact. And, you know, my overall goal, the overall vision that I'm pushing towards is that we live in a world where people put as much focus on their mental health that they do their physical health. I want to live in a world where we talk about mental health as easily as we talk about physical health. I want to live in a world where if somebody has depression, we can talk about it in the same way as if somebody broke their arm. We need to be more open about these things, and that's one of the reasons I make these videos, is to increase awareness, to destigmatize this. That's why I write articles over at the Mighty website. That's why I go on podcasts to talk about mental health. That's why at the end of this month, I'm going to a recovery rally, because it's National Recovery Month, in case you didn't hear, to go out there and be part of the voices out there saying addiction is around and we need to talk about it. That's why I go to mental health events here in Las Vegas and I talk to people and I share my story. If you haven't yet, I have a video, I'll put a link in the description, where I share a little bit of my story and I talk about what my passion is. So every morning I have to wake up and reinvigorate that passion. Whenever I'm having a bad day, like, just so you know, working at a rehab is one of the best things to ever happen to me. It's very hard for me personally to have a bad day working at a treatment center, because I know that these people are waiting for a message of hope, and I'm able to give that to them. And seeing the people who come into treatment just completely broken, and even a week, 2 weeks later, seeing that light come on in their eyes and that hope that I experience, that maybe my life can actually get better, and I get to impact these people on a daily basis. And the whole reason I started this channel was because maybe I'm greedy. I don't want to only just help the people in my treatment center. I want to help people, anybody who has the internet, anybody who has access to YouTube, anybody who has access to my website, anybody who has access to podcasts. I want to be able to help all these people and give them tools that they can use to overcome their symptoms of mental illness. So thank you, Sean. Thank you, Roberto, for making this extremely inspirational video. Keep making them. I really think if any of you out there are looking into, you know, make your voice heard or follow a passion, like, definitely check out some of Roberto's stuff on creative thoughts. Like, those like really inspire me. Again, thank you, Cayla, aka Panko Bunny, for being awesome. And thank you to all my friends and my support system. That's something I never had for a long time, and one of the things I thought was that I was never going to have good friendships again, and I have some of the most loving, caring, inspiring friends. And like, if nothing else is a testament to how well some of these practices work that I talk about, like, I cannot stress to you enough, I did not have this smile on my face prior to making this video. I was having a really rough day. So with these practices, with these tools I offer you, they do work, and there is hope that you can overcome depression, anxiety, addiction, whatever it is. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If somebody out there is very impatient and they get into a lot of negative talk and all that stuff, share this with them. Maybe it'll inspire them. But thanks for watching. If you haven't yet, click right below this little box. Click that round subscribe button. I'm always making videos about mental health, addiction, and all that stuff. So again, thank you for watching. This is Chris from The Rewired Soul, and I'll see you next time.